I am the other Republican running May 8th. I apologize, I didn't know when I was going to get to speak or how long I was going to get to speak. But I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak in front of you guys. I want to tell you guys a little bit about me. I'm a Christian. I'm a husband. My wife Jessica is sitting right here with me today. And I'm a father. We have 4 wonderful kids. Okay? I'm also a combat veteran and a former police officer for the city of Raleigh and the town of Nags Head. I have built my life in service to others. We try to raise our kids with a focus on service to others and service to God. That's what this campaign is all about, guys. It's a change in direction for Washington. Right now, we don't have servant leaders in Washington. We have selfish leaders in Washington. Leaders who are up there for everything we can do for them, and then we don't see them again until it's time for us to vote. We have to change that. So I joined the military at 17 years old. After 9/11, I felt called to serve. That was the most direct way that I could see to serve my country. So I convinced my mom and dad to sign a waiver and allow me to join the Army. And I was deployed to Iraq in 05, stayed there till 06. We engaged the enemy over there so that we didn't have to fight them here. I saw that as my sacred duty to our country. I was honored to be able to do it. And I came home. You guys mind if I move? I don't like moving, so I'm going to move just a little bit. All right. I came home and I continued my service to my community at that point with the town of Nags Head and the city of Raleigh. I got married to my wife in 2009. And it was one of the greatest things God ever gave me because in 2010 she drugged me to church and I came to know the Lord. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. So, a few things I want to talk about is, one thing everybody wants to know is, well, yeah, you want to be a servant, but why can't we trust you? Right? A lot of politicians get up here and say they want to be a servant, but that doesn't mean you can trust them. One, I'm not a politician. All right? You can check any of my posts on my social media. I get attacked all the time for not being politically correct because I don't word things the right way. I'm a Franklin County boy who speaks simple. All right? I want to speak plain, easy, everyone can understand it. No misinterpretation of words, right? But let's go through some of the things that are important here in North Carolina and specifically here in the 2nd District. The NRA has me rated with an A. Grassroots North Carolina has me rated with a 99. Firm believer in the Second Amendment. I spoke in Raleigh at the Second Amendment rally. Lynn Bradley was there for me. He was actually gracious enough to introduce me at that event. Thank you, Lynn. I am the only candidate in this race that has been endorsed by a Gold Star family that lives in the district. That is probably my favorite endorsement. I've got other endorsements, but I know what it takes to get a Gold Star. And I know this family personally, and they don't like to get involved in politics. The fact that they were willing to step up and endorse me was huge for me. When it comes to immigration, I'm labeled a true reformer by Numbers USA. You guys might remember Numbers USA as the company that did the study on what would happen if we brought in 5 times as many immigrants as we currently bring in to try and help the world fight the poverty problem. There's a big video of all the gumballs falling on the ground and just going everywhere, right? I'm labeled as a true reformer by them in the field of immigration. My opponent has a C-. And then I got a really nice one that I get to share with you guys. You guys are the first people I get to explain this to because it came in last night. The Republican Liberty Caucus, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with them, but their membership includes representatives such as Senator Rand Paul, Representative Tom Massey, Representative Justin Amash. All right, real movers and shakers in the liberty movement. They voted to endorse me over my opponent in this. The Republican Liberty Caucus has announced that they will endorse me over George Holding for his seat. That's a big one. That was very important for me. It means a lot to have people of that magnitude recognize the work that you've been trying to do and what your principles and what your stances are. So I just want to take a moment and talk about some of the things that were brought up in the speech. I wish he had stayed. You guys were in for a treat, by the way. It's the first time in 7 months that both candidates have been in the same room. I've been to over 40 or 50 events by now. Tax reform is a huge deal. We don't want to lose the tax breaks we got. I support tax reform. I don't think this tax bill went far enough, but it was a step in the right direction. In the military, they teach you to advance when the position is available. You advance and hold ground when you can, and wait until your opportunity to advance again. So I believe that's what this tax bill was. It was an advance in the right direction, but it's not the end goal. One thing I would like to see different is vocal leadership to make the individual tax rate permanent. I don't know how many of you guys know that there's a sunset clause on the individual tax rate, meaning it expires in, I believe, 2 more years. And we go back to the old individual tax rate, therefore no more benefit to the individual taxpayers. That would be most of us in this room. There's also this thing called the carried interest loophole that was put into the tax bill. Anybody familiar with the carried interest loophole? All right, Google's going to go crazy after this. All right, carried interest loophole is it's a particular industry that was set aside from other industries, where their commission that they make is taxed, not as commission, but as carried interest. Also kind of referred to as capital gains. It's for investment bankers. The money that they make on their return is not taxed as commission, it's taxed as carried interest or capital gains, which takes it from the 30+% tax bracket down to the 20, 21%, 23% tax bracket. But it's only for investment bankers. Bloomberg News reported this story, and other people have picked it up and ran with it since then. But in that article, the banking lobbyist that was quoted in that article thanked by name my opponent for fighting so hard to keep that loophole in there. The omnibus bill, yeah, that thing is garbage. It needs to go away. There's no reason that Republicans should be signing off on something like that. But my opponent said that if he only had more support in the House, he could have stopped it. He could have stopped it with House Vote 127, which is the vote he's talking about. What he's omitting is House Vote 124, which is the procedural vote where that bill came up for a vote of whether or not to go to the floor to be voted on. And that vote had passed by 4 votes. If 4 more Republicans had voted no, it wouldn't have made it to the floor. Only 4 more Republicans. He voted yes. We need active leadership, not passive leadership, not this version of politics where we vote one way on one bill. I call it John Kerry, where we voted against it before we voted for it. We voted for it before we voted against it. You vote both ways. This is a big election. This is the opportunity where we actually get to change Washington. Right now, people are trying to. The biggest thing they have is that I can't beat the Democrats. That's the biggest thing you're going to hear. I am the only Republican in the race who has debated every Democrat in the race multiple times and won. I've debated them in our territory, and I've debated them in their territory. The Democrats don't want me to win. They have changed their game. And originally, they wanted me to win because they saw me as a softer target. They don't want me to win anymore. They want to go against my opponent because there they have a shot. This is not an anti-Republican year. The blue wave is something invented by the media. If you look at the past election cycles, it's not Republicans losing because they're not Democrats. It's incumbents and establishment types that are losing. It's an anti-incumbent cycle. It's not an anti-Republican cycle. We can end that by going ahead and taking out the swamp incumbent in this election and putting forth a liberty-minded, freedom-loving candidate as a Republican right now, and it squashes the anti-incumbent movement that's going on everywhere else. When I go to college campuses, I go to every event I can, and I openly talk and debate with anyone who will talk with me and debate with me. All right? overwhelming support across the board. The message of liberty wins. Even when argued against socialism and the liberal left, the message of liberty is winning with the young crowd. It's not forgotten with our seniors. It's not forgotten with our veterans. It wins. And I agree that money isn't going to buy this election. It's interesting that the guy running all the TV ads and all the radio ads is saying that it's not working. Then don't do it. I knock on doors, I make personal phone calls, I shake hands, I show up to events. That's how I'm going to earn your trust, is personal interaction. I think I've proven it. A lot of people in this room knew me long before I ever decided to run. I will continue to show up to events. I want to continue to be available. I ask for you guys' support May 8th. Thank you and God bless.